The title of today's broadcast is Anyone Can Take a Knee, Johnson. Anyone can take a knee for the cause. Anyone can take a knee for the cause. Anyone can fight for the cause. Anyone can take a knee for the cause. Come on now. You gonna discriminate about who stands up for us? Nah, no. We'll get to that. We'll get to it. It's not Eminem. We'll get to that. Should we start there? No. We got Russian skater, Sha'Carri Richardson. We got Ahmaud Arbery update. We got his firehouse in Pennsylvania. Got that. We got we got some stuff. Tune in on Wednesday. My interview guest will be, for my long-form interview podcast, Ida Rodriguez. Give it up for her for fighting words. My sister, my sister, my sister, my sister. Ida's coming back to rock with us. I appreciate you, Ida. Now, update on Ahmaud Arbery's case. Once upon a time, there were people that said that Travis and Greg McMichael may have just been defending the property. They said, hey, they don't believe that Ahmaud Arbery was just jogging around, that he just stopped by the house, that he was just, checking things out and jogging about his way. There are people that said he contributed to his own death because he was jogging there. He was up to no good. That's what he was doing. That Greg McMichael and Travis McMichael got heavy-handed sentences because they are white men. Because they are men defending their property, and they had so many breakers they didn't know what to do. And it was Ahmaud Arbery who happened upon their neighborhood. That we should all pump our brakes and be not so quick to judge. That's what they said. They changed the tune a little bit when those men were convicted along with William Roddy Bryan, when the convictions came down, when the tide turned, and when they won the Rittenhouse thing, they started turning down the volume on Ahmaud Arbery because they really just want to win. They want to win. They want to win more than they want justice. It's about winning for them. Some of them stuck by their guns, though. They were adamant. There's more to the story. Well, you know what? They were right. It is more to the story, Johnson. There's more to the story regarding Travis McMichael and Greg McMichael. And I'm going to tell it to you right now. So today started the prosecution's case of a federal hate crime against the three men that murdered Ahmaud Arbery. And what people don't realize is that when you go to federal court, when you go to hate crime court, there's evidence that may not have been admitted into the previous case, into the state case. There's other evidence that comes in, that's allowed to come in. They arbitrate over what evidence can come in and can't come in. And different judges make different decisions about what evidence can be admitted. The prosecution began their opening statements today. And in that opening statement, they listed some very disparaging news for those supporters of Greg and Travis McMichael. They listed specifically for Travis McMichael social media posts, text messages, emails that what Travis McMichael made referring to black people as monkeys, criminals, thugs, inhumane savages, and N-words. Once again, Travis McMichael, who you said I need to get the benefit of the doubt to, that probably had no ill-conceived thought about Ahmaud Arbery, was merely protecting his property, or the property of another white man, from a break-in that did not occur. He has text messages, not about him talking about Ahmaud Arbery, just random black people as a whole. He saw them as, once again, animals, thugs, criminals, N-words, and inhumane savages. So when you say, I was too quick to judge, you're right. I should have judged them even harder, Johnson. We should have judged them even harder because Travis McMichael and Greg McMichael are exactly what we thought they were. They're even worse. Thank you for playing. So it's very easy to understand why Travis McMichael may have prejudged Ahmaud Arbery so harshly. Because in his mind, he already made his mind up when he saw Ahmaud Arbery. Hell, he had his mind made up about Ahmaud Arbery before he even confronted Ahmaud Arbery. He had his mind made up about black people before he confronted a single solitary black person. His mind is made up about black people regardless. Now, I know Travis McMichael was a grown-ass man, but it doesn't go wasted on me that this murder occurred with his own dad. Maybe it would suffice to say, and I know it's just an assumption, but maybe the guy that he learned it from is the guy that helped him kill Ahmaud Arbery. Now, all of you that told me I moved too quick, that I rushed to judgment, maybe the reason why you couldn't see that these two redneck motherfuckers were redneck motherfuckers is because you yourself are harboring some of the same beliefs as these two redneck motherfuckers, Johnson. Give it up for that. Yeah. That's why you had excuses made up in your mind for them. But they make no excuses about Ahmaud Arbery taking of his life. That's why they killed that man like a dog in the street. Did not try to give any type of aid to this young man after they murdered him because that's what they saw him as, an animal on the street. And that's what Travis McMichael referred to black people. Now, my thing is always to remember people, we got a learning moment we can take, Johnson. And that learning moment is this. People like Travis McMichael workplaces. So do people like Greg McMichael. To you and to us, we see these people as horrible individuals, racist bigots, murderers. But besides that, what are they? What was Greg McMichael? A sheriff, right? What was Travis McMichael? A worker in the Peace Corps. These people had jobs. And don't you think their jobs, with the mentalities that they have, is it possible when they dealt with black people, black citizens, that they may have treated them fucked up, that they may have lost their paperwork, that they may have charged them more money, that they may have did whatever they could do just because of this racial resentment that they had towards black people? Is it possible any power that they may have wielded throughout their careers, they could use adversity against black people? Of course it's possible. Hell, they're killers, right? See, that's what people don't get, and I want people to understand this is what racism is. Of course, we talk about systemic racism here all the time, but remember, when you got racists in powerful positions, we never know who those people are until they get caught. They're able to use their power and direct that power against us. All right, so I'm going to keep you up to date as this case winds through the legal process. They've already been given life in prison. But I'll update you. Time to learn, Johnson. You're going to learn today. You're going to learn today. All right. Someone said cut the check, Johnson. Cut the check. We're going to get to it, though, because that's going to come up. We're going to say cut the check. Well, what the hell? Cut the check, cut the check, cut the check. Let's get bliggity, bliggity, bliggity black and cut the check, Johnson. Oh, I got something for you, Johnson. It's one of them days, man. It's one of those days. Okay. Let's go right to Eminem. Okay, so, folks, I'm going to admit to you, I haven't watched a lot of football in the last few years. I have not watched a lot of football in the last few years. I've been turned off and soured to the sport of football. This Kaepernick thing really hit home for me. Someone who has even worked at a football stadium for some time for the Washington football team, which is now the Washington, what are they, the Washington Courageous Warriors or some shit, I don't know. I forget what it is. Commanders? What is it? I don't know. But yeah, I've been sour to football. In fact, guys, I'm so out of touch with football. And we're talking about someone who grew up in a family where we all watch football. We watch the playoffs, the draft, the Super Bowls, the Pro Bowls. That was the way I grew up. But partially due to Kaepernick, mostly due to Kaepernick, the other part was my time just got filled with other things. It was weird at first, but I got used to not giving a damn about football. Hell, I even forgot what time the Super Bowl came on. I didn't even know, Johnson. I had to reschedule my video. The point is this. I did get an opportunity to watch the Super Bowl halftime performance. And that's because I heard about who was going to be on the performance. And did you know this was the first time they ever had rappers doing the Super Bowl halftime performance? I think they did it for damage control. You know, all this stuff going around about them being racist. Nothing says you're not racist like having black rappers show up at your Super Bowl for the first time ever. Anyway, here's the thing. We got Dr. Dre. We got 50 Cent. We got my brother Kendrick Lamar. We got Mary J. Blige. We got Eminem. We got Snoop, of course, Snoop. All of them there performing their greatest hits. Now, I didn't like some people shitting on the other guys performing their hits. Hey, man, they never let rappers perform at the Super Bowl. Let the OGs get in and do their thing. Because you know how time is. You know how people be dropping like flies. I hate to say that. But let them get in and get their respect due. And now let's bring on the young guys. Okay? And the young women as well. The young women as well. Let the OGs get in. Only thing I'm upset about, they didn't have Cube. Ice Cube should have been there. Okay? But okay. Be that as it may. Great performance. I enjoyed it. It was good hearing some of my old favorites. 50 Cent hanging upside down. 50 Cent, don't you fall, damn it. You're a rich man. Don't you fall. Don't you fall off that thing, bro. Yeah, I was hanging upside down. I was been that fall. I said, hold my leg, man. I said, hold my leg, man. Hold my leg, man. But the real issue, the real takeaway from the Super Bowl halftime performance was Eminem taking a knee. Eminem took a knee, Johnson. And respect for Colin Kaepernick, Eminem took a knee. Now, here's the thing about that. There's been conflicting information about this knee that Eminem took. The first thing is, Eminem says they told him he could not take the knee. They told him he should not do it. Don't do it, Eminem. Eminem said, I'm going to do it anyway. The NFL says we knew he was going to do it. We allowed him to do it. So I don't know who to believe. I think I'm going to side with Eminem. I don't think they wanted him to take the knee. It's a political statement. I don't think they wanted him to make a political statement during the halftime performance of the Super Bowl that makes him look like shit. Who cares if it's players or performers who take the knee? He's still taking the knee. That's right. They weren't saying the actual. Yeah, I guess it's a little different though because they weren't actually saluting the flag or playing the anthem at the time. But still, Eminem took the knee, and it's symbolic of something. It means something. I'm glad Eminem did it. Now, a couple of rabble-rousers, people that want, attention, were upset that Eminem took the knee. I don't know what you're upset about Eminem taking the knee for. Dre didn't take the knee. Snoop didn't take the knee. Kendrick Lamar didn't take the knee. Mary J. Blige didn't take the knee. 50 didn't take the knee. Somebody had to take the knee. Eminem took the knee, and obviously Eminem wanted to take the knee. Let the man take the knee if he wants to take the knee. What's the problem? Somebody took the knee. Good. Isn't it refreshing to have a white guy take the knee? It's been brothers taking the knee the whole time. Let one of our white brothers lend a hand and take the knee as well. What's wrong with you? Jesus Christ, man. People have problems, don't they? So anyway, now, I heard someone say, I don't want beef with anybody, but I got to say this. I heard someone say, hey, man, there were people complaining about Eminem being a white guy and him taking the knee. And they said it was, I don't know what they said, what they were complaining about. But the impression I got, they were upset that it was a white guy that took the knee. Now, look, guys, I don't have a problem with it. I don't give a shit. I don't care what the colors of my allies are. I'm just glad to have them. I want them to be real allies. Okay? Isn't that it? Don't be worried about who throws you a life preserver. Just be glad someone threw one. Don't worry about that shit. Someone said we need not to be worried about that. We need to be more worried about not killing ourselves, not shooting ourselves. And the person who said that, I'm going to say his name. His name is Capone. He's a comedian. Hey, look, man, if you're a comedian and you want to talk about politics, you want to get involved, I'm about to ask you to start reading books, Johnson. That's all I'm going to ask. That's all. Read a couple of books. I mean, it's a free country. You can say whatever you want, and I can respond to whatever you say. Why you got to come out here sounding like a whole-ass white conservative redneck asshole? Huh? Why you got to do that, Capone? Why, when black people complain about something, you don't even know the context of why they're complaining, the first thing you do is run and talk about Chicago. Motherfucker, we already got white people to do this. With Bill O'Reilly, you miss him or something? You want to take a spot? Is that it? Oh, he got a point. No, he doesn't have a point. Capone, poor people fight over resources. Poor people fight over resources. If people had resources, they would not be in the streets beefing over territory, beefing over drugs, beefing over money. It's because people lack resources, Capone. Every society where people don't have resources, they fight amongst themselves over those resources. Now, I know there's some people that are demented and just psychotic. Those people, there's a mental health crisis in America as well. But for those people that are fighting over resources, we have a country that has put black people at the bottom of the scale. Instead of you addressing that and being knowledgeable about that fight for resources and black people being at the bottom of the scale, damn it, Capone, you live in a country where we're 14% of the population, we own less than 2% of the wealth, and it's been that way, stuck that way since the 50s. And your great deduction of all of it is we need to just not be violent. Now, the great deduction of that will be America needs to cut the fucking check. But if you went out and said America needs to cut the check, then you would have to, actually stand up for something instead of just shitting on black people. Yeah. It's easy to shit on black people and tell black people what's wrong with you. Black people do better. Black people put your pants up. Black people stop listening to that music. Black people, black people, black people, black people. No responsibility for a government that disenfranchised us for hundreds of years. Just pull yourself up, huh, Capone? Change your name from Capone, motherfucker. I know your mama didn't name you Capone. Why your name Capone, Capone? Why is your name Capone, Capone? See, these are things that piss me off, man. And look, I don't want my 2022 to be spent this way. So I respect you, brother, but do better. Don't come out here sounding like a whole-ass, conservative, bigoted, Bill O'Reilly, Rush Limbaugh motherfucker. There is no difference between you and him. The only difference is you got brown skin. And I'm tired of you guys not knowing shit and still commenting. So, comedy hype, get this shit together. Seriously, get it together. It's bad enough when I got to fight white guys to say this out-of-hand bullshit. And you get to say it without any context, without understanding anything. Black people that were upset about Eminem taking the knee are just upset that more black people didn't take the knee. They're upset that there were black people on that stage that didn't take the knee with him. You understand, Capone? Now, I can't speak for everyone. But of the people that I did observe online who were upset about Eminem, they weren't upset saying that he was appropriating rap. We've already had that conversation about Eminem decades ago. It was about there was nobody there with him. Snoop should have got on the knee. Murray should have got on the knee. Kendrick should have got on the knee. 50 should have got on the knee. It should have been knees everywhere. Everyone should have took a knee. That was the sentiment that I got. It wasn't, oh no, why is this white guy doing it? It was, why aren't we all doing it? Reading is fundamental. All right. Anyway, shout out to 50 Cent and the whole crew. And next time, take the knee, goddamn. Take the knee. All right, there's a fire company in Pennsylvania. No, it's in Delaware. It's in Delaware. Look, man, I'm upset about this story because I always thought fire workers or firefighters are supposed to be the good guys. Our firefighters the ones we go, okay, why come the cops can't be like the firefighters? And I got a story that's going to change your whole mind about firefighters. At least these firefighters. Fire company suspended after alleged racist remarks, mocking of a girl killed in police shooting. Now, I saw this story last week. I didn't get a chance to cover it. Well, here it is. Here we go. Actually, this is Pennsylvania. Why did I think this was Delaware? I'm sorry. A volunteer fire company in Pennsylvania suspended for 30 days after members allegedly made racist comments about other firefighters and mocked Fanta Bility, an 8-year-old girl who authorities said died at the hands of 3 police officers last year. We got firefighters caught on tape. They thought they were on a call or something. They were on the line. They thought the recording was over, and they kept talking. And somehow, some way, the conversation switched to mocking a dead girl killed by police. A child. I can't think of anything less funny. But I guess if you're a bigoted cop or a bigoted firefighter, I'm sorry, force to habit. If you're a bigoted firefighter, I guess this is funny to you. Remember what I said about the McMichaels and how dangerous that type of bigotry is because they have power. Okay, so there's been a suspension of the Briarcliff Volunteer Fire Company on Thursday. It said the matter had been referred to the local district attorney's office. According to the letter, which was obtained by ABC News, the remarks allegedly occurred January 27th after a virtual meeting about a fire survey between Briarcliff and other local fire companies. Most of the participants logged off, but 6 Briarcliff members did not. Suddenly, there was a sound of a group of people discussing the meeting while using foul, inappropriate language. A recording of the comments were made, though NBC News has not reviewed all of it. The letter says the people on the call talked for nearly 2 hours. So get this, Johnson. This is not just a word slippage. This is not one person being one rogue asshole. They talked for hours. They let their hair down. They may have cracked a couple of brews. This is how they really feel. They made racial epithets to describe firefighters and the fire chief from another local fire company. They said it was time to leave the area because black people were moving there. Yes, right now, working class firefighters at the volunteer fire department said they need to move because black people are moving in. Imagine being broke white people, but still being so arrogant and racist that you think you're above poor black people. Yeah, see, this is why when we're having these conversations, guys, one of the conversations that kind of led me to go my way, do my own thing, away from progressives for the most part, was they were so hell-bent on us doing anything and everything in order to appease and align with poor white people who don't like black people. I can't do that shit. Now, I work with somebody, we have a similar interest, and it's one thing to have implicit bias that you're not aware of, but to be explicitly racist, to be knowingly, outgoingly racist and belong to racist organizations, and for you to say that my progressivism or my ability to fuck with you guys hinges on my ability to put up with racists because they may want health care or to remove student debt. I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that, Johnson. I can't do it. I won't do it. I refuse to do it. Go fuck yourselves. I won't do it. But see, that's the attitude people had. They didn't say, hey, we need to cancel racists. We need to get racists out of our midst. We don't want to work with racists. The black community is an important, integral part of our movement. And if you don't respect them, we don't respect you. We work together. Instead, they said black people who don't want to work with racists, they're divisive. There was even one party that was trying to form itself that said that it allowed members of its own party to use the N-word on its own communications. And the only people that they kicked out of the organization for doing so were the people that complained about it, who happens to be black, Johnson. May the church say amen. See, these are all the things that led up to Tim Black's dissension into solitude. I got tired of people being hypocritical as fuck. Back to this story, guys, and listen to how it ties in. These firefighters are working class people, working class white guys. Same problems we got. We all got the same problems. Lack of resources, health care, student loan debt, bad water, bad air, medical coverage. Same problems. Gas. Gas prices. We all got the same problems, right? Expected to fight America's wars that we don't need to be in the first place. We have the same problems with us, but there's still an additional problem that makes all the other problems much worse. And it's the reason why those problems get to exasperate. They're racist as fuck. This is what I'm talking about. And instead of forming a white coalition of white folks that are not racist, to go out and talk to their white friends and reprogram them, instead what we get is we get the one-off black person that wants to do it in order to collect robes and notoriety and a pat on the head from white friends and those who want to support it because they see viewership in it. Folks, this is a problem. These firefighters are the people that we're supposed to respect. No one ever gets upset when they see a firefighter coming. People are happy when we see him come. What a betrayal of the social contract. It's bad enough we got to deal with racist cops. So the Goodwill Fire Department is the black fire department, apparently. One person on this call allegedly threatened to physically assault members of the Goodwill. Another joked about Phantom Bellidi's name. We have great concerns of this as fire companies and the safety of the community. This is not appropriate and does not belong in the township. Okay, the parents and the family of the young girl who was killed by police, of course, they're very much offended and hurt by what happened. But it's bigger than that because it's about a community. A community that trusts its fire departments. And just imagine, calling the fire department and not knowing who you're going to get. Yeah. Are they going to try to save your child as much as they try to save their own? Are they going to try to save your child as hard as they would try to save a white kid? Thoughts that you don't want to think about. Thoughts you better think about. Thoughts you can't ignore. It's a break of the social contract. This volunteer fire department needs to be disassembled and recreated. Lose its charter and start anew. That's all you can do. You got to restore faith in the community on this organization. And I'm sorry, if you are one of the good firefighters, maybe you can reapply after it's redone. What say you guys? What you say in the comment section? Let me know. I think once you breach the social contract to that extent, you can't have people wondering if you come to their house what you're going to do. You can't have people wondering what you really think about them. It's just something, we just want to think the best of people. Open mic, 2-hour conversation. All right. It is what it is, Johnson. One of the things I don't want us to do, and I know it happens, it's hard for some people to move past this, is we can't look at everyone the same way, like everyone's not cut from the same cloth. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's a tendency to say, okay, that story, now we're going to look at everyone and blame everyone for that same, It's a damn shame. And that's what's so horrible about racism, isn't it? That's the problem, is that once you experience it, once you delve down into it, once you become more knowledgeable about it, you just see it everywhere. It can cloud your judgment. And then sometimes you don't want to be made a fool of, so you got to use this as a safeguard. You got to protect yourself. Oh, what a predicament to be in. That's why I tell people all the time. I tell them, I say, look, you say people are playing a race card. I say, damn it, Johnson, we'd rather not play any cards. It'd be great not to have any cards in your deck. And it'd be better, even better, not to need them. It's extra shit in your life that you already got to deal with. Black people already got shit to deal with just like you do. It's just an extra level of shit we have to deal with that no one wants to deal with. No one wants to deal with this. Now I can't just call the fire department like a regular person, a white person. Jesus Christ. Extra shit. Okay. Here goes some more race. And I'm trying to make sense of this story. Okay, so when I was a kid, I cared about the Olympics. I came from a household that we tuned into sports. I grew up in a neighborhood that we all played all the sports. Played football, basketball, soccer, baseball, softball. We played softball too. Football, basketball, softball, every sport. We played them all. And we played other housing department, other apartment complexes. It was a great time being a kid, man. Back in the 80s, before crack. But things changed. I haven't really tuned into the Olympics for years. And apparently there's a good reason not to. All right, so there's this ice skater. Her name is Kamila Valieva. I know I'm not pronouncing that right, but she's from Russia. And she tested positive for a drug that's banned. Okay? Now this drug, I don't even know if I should try to say this shit. That's enough. It's a drug she should not take. It's a drug that's considered a performance enhancer. Now, for some strange reason, this Olympic skater from Russia, oh, by the way, she's 15 years old. So that's important to know. She's 15 years old. She's still able to compete, even though she tested positive with this drug in her system that's banned, that's a performance enhancer. So this happened. The conversation is this. Sha'Carri Richardson, young woman, young black woman, she tested positive for marijuana. And they pulled her ability to perform. They did not let her participate because she had pot in her system. Now, pot is not a performance enhancer. It's a sensus deller, a deller of senses. It dulls your senses. It makes you hungry. It makes you sleepy. These are not things that make you run faster, unless there's a Taco Bell en route. So, Sha'Carri Richardson sent out a tweet, and she said, I see no difference between the two of us other than I'm a young black lady, or a black young lady. Now look, folks, I'm trying to see this another way because I don't want to out of hand to say the Olympics are racist, but there's definitely improprieties here. There's definitely a difference in treatment. One hand, you got someone using a drug that's legal in a lot of states in America here. I understand the Olympics make their own rules. But marijuana is a recreational drug. We got another drug that actually gives you a benefit that makes you harder to compete against. This person used it, whether they're underage or not underage, because some people are contending that since she's underage, it's someone else's fault that she took this. So it gets a little murky because maybe someone gave it to her. I don't know. the bottom line is you can't get away from it. Here we are with another racial dilemma. Now, the latest update is that she won't be able to receive her gold medal until they figure it all out. I said Camila Valieva will not receive her medal because she won a medal. In fact, she helped the Russians win the team event or something. Without her performance, she's that amazing. She's that amazing. She helped them win. Without her, they may not have won some things. So a lot of things could be rearranged on the scoreboard. We're talking about Canada getting a bronze instead of nothing. We're talking about America moving up to first place instead of second place. And so there's a lot on the line depending on what happens with this. And my thing is this, Johnson. My thing is this. Fairness. Fairness. In my opinion, they never should have kicked out Sha'Carri Richardson to begin with. And I remember back when this was all happening. There were people that came out of the woodwork to talk about Sha'Carri Richardson. Yeah, they came out of the woodwork and they talked about Sha'Carri Richardson. They said, she needs to sit down. Remember this? She needs to sit down. She broke the rules. I think it was Joe Biden. Joe Biden was one of them. She broke the rules. So I don't know what people are saying now. I don't know. I think there were a couple of former Olympians, black Olympians as well, that came out of the woodwork. She's a sit down. Just piling on this young black woman. And now we got this child. We have a child. A white child. I don't got time to put them in groups. It's a white child. Who took a drug that could make her perform better, that could help her perform better. I don't know if it did, but it could. I don't see the same level of people jumping out. But you know what, though? I don't know if it's true or not because you know how America works. They try to sell newspapers. So they could have came out, just no one talks about it. Because it's better when you jump on black people than it is when you jump on white people. Doesn't mean nobody complained, but maybe it's just not getting publicity because we know America talks about what it wants to talk about. I mean, there's all types of great stories that happen every day that we never hear about. You would walk around walking on air every day if you knew all the great things that happen every day that go underreported. You might also want to open a vein because of some of the bad shit you don't hear that happens every day as well. But you get what I'm saying? We pick and choose the stories that get elevated. That's what media does. So I don't know. I can't say with certainty that there weren't people calling out Camilla and saying she needs to sit her ass down. But all I'm saying, if you're one of those people that called out Sha'Carri Richardson and you're quiet now, this looks bad. Get your ass up now, jump in front of the camera and start talking. Go on your Instagram now. Go on your Twitter now. Be just as vocal as you were before. Because what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Don't you be a part of throwing those sisters under the bus if you ain't going to stand up for it. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Sha'Carri Richardson did not get an unfair advantage by smoking weed because her family member died. I just think what part of it is, and I'm just going to say this, guys, part of it is we have no problems thinking the worst about our own people. That's for black folks. White folks, forgive me, but I'm talking about black folks right now. It's a problem we have in the black community where we have no problems. We're so quick to shit on one another. You do it all the time. We are so good to go out to. It's just horrible, man. It's a horrible thing. It really is. And then the system goes after us harder too. So we got the system going after us harder. We got us so quick to jump on us, and for various reasons. Don't make us look bad. What you doing make us look bad? Then we got the ones that jump on us because that's where the Buttermilk Biscuits come in. They get a pat on the head from mass and they get a job. You know, if their job is to shit on black people, for white people, it's like crazy. It's just horrible. I know conservatives talk about this a lot too. They say there are white people that shit on white people to appease the liberals or something. It's like they say the same thing happens to them. But I don't know. All I know is people have no problems going after black people. So anyway, back to the point. Look, like I stated, I think fair is fair. If you're going to stop one from competing, stop the other from competing. And it's not just about the trophy, it's about being able to perform. Think about the team, how the team could have done it, Sha'Carri could have ran at that time. She ain't been the same since. And maybe that's why they're going to let Kamala compete, because they don't want to stunt her potential. Don't both young ladies deserve for their potential to be preserved and their psychological conditioning to stay intact? Don't we care about how both of them feel? Guess not. Anyway. I may cover this, I may not cover it. You let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think. Like I said, it's not earth-shattering news. It's disappointing. Now, I'll do a follow-up. If you want me to do a follow-up, let me know. Let me know. All right. Jesus Christ, Johnson. Jesus Christ. Guys, I was looking at, I had one story I was thinking about. The whole thing about Eminem has me thinking about a story. Okay. It doesn't matter who's on your side as long as you got somebody on your side. It doesn't really matter who's on your side as long as you got somebody on your side. Having allies, it doesn't matter what color they are. Shit, an ally is an ally. Having a true ally is what you hope for. There's a story of a man named Carl Braden. Carl Braden is an activist. He worked for the ACLU before there was an ACLU in Kentucky. Him and his wife, Anna, were staunch activists, environmental activists, human rights activists. They were against segregation, social justice advocates, the OGs of advocacy for black people. That's what they are. Okay, this is back in the 50s. 1955, I think it was. So during that time, there was a lot of housing discrimination. Just like it is now, just not as blatant as it was back in the 50s. Carl Braden and his wife Anna purchased a house, and they gave it to a black couple. The black couple wanted to live in this house in this great neighborhood. But this was a whites-only neighborhood. And this neighborhood was a neighborhood strictly no blacks people allowed. No blacks allowed. But Carl Braden, he said, screw your rules. I'm going to do what's right. So the black family could not buy the house. They would never sell to a black person. It was in the deed, don't sell to a black person. This is how deep our discrimination goes, Capone. This is how deep our discrimination goes. But Carl Braden and Anna Braden said, no, screw that. We're going to buy this house for you, and you can take this house. And we're going to stand up to these racists in this neighborhood. So they bought the house. They gave it to the black family who bought the house from them. Sort of like, I think Booker talks about this. Cory Booker. I think the same thing happened to his parents. Well, anyway, the neighborhood was pissed off, man. All the neighborhood was livid. Neighborhood broke windows out of the house, threw rocks and bricks, tried to set it on fire. They burnt crosses on the line. All this to give it to this black family because they live in the neighborhood. And they don't want black people living in their neighborhood. When all that didn't work, when the bricks didn't work, the rocks didn't work, the fire didn't work, the cross burning didn't work, they bombed the house. Well, after they bombed the house, and luckily no one was hurt, they got out, the police got involved. And the police ascertained, they figured out what happened. They figured out, they understood now, Carl Braden and Anna Braden are the ones who bought the house and gave it to the blacks. And for that, they arrested the blacks and Carl Braden and threw them in jail under the charge of sedition Now, sedition is rebellion against your government. Carl Brady was sentenced to 10 years in jail. 10 years in jail. Luckily, he got out in 7 months. But we didn't know that was going to happen. They had no idea how long they were going to be in jail. That's it. There's no happy ending to the story. The house was blown up. They didn't get a new house. But Carl Braden is a hero. And so is Anna. Anna went on to continue her work. Carl Braden, they both worked in this, to fight for racial justice for several years. In fact, they get arrested again later. A couple years later, they get arrested again because they don't stop their fight. Here's the thing, guys. This is the thing. Unfortunately, Carl had an unexpected heart attack at age 60, and Anna proceeds to do her work. She wrote a book called The Wall Between Us, and she tours the country talking about racial segregation, racial desegregation, talking about racial justice, social justice, all the way up until her death in 2006. And I'm telling you this to tell you, it doesn't matter the color of the person that fights for you. What matters is they're a true fighter, like Carl Braden. And even though they didn't change anything, at the time they didn't change anything. Even though that black family did not get to keep their house, the next time they went to court 10 years later, or 8 years later, I think it was, there were a lot more social justice warriors with them in that courtroom. The next time they got arrested, they didn't get 10 years. Next time they got arrested, they walked. So things changed, but it took time to change. And the endings may not always be the endings that we want them to be. May not always be all sunny and green. But the most important thing is that your allies are allies that are down for you, that will ride for you. Now, when I hear people on Twitter and other social media outlets that do a lot of finger pointing and a lot of talking, there's some people that think activism is hounding me to talk about shit for them. They think they're being activists by hounding other people on Twitter to talk about things for them. That's the level of advocacy. Their advocacy is calling out other people on Twitter. Well, that ain't advocacy. That ain't activism, man. That's using a social media app and being annoying as fuck. Come on, man. If what you were doing was effective, we would already have this shit solved by now. What it is you gaslighting people to do your work for you. Carl Braden was a real fighter, and I hope to one day be as much of a fighter for social justice as Carl Braden. And Carl Braden was a white guy who went to jail for what he believed. And he didn't know it wasn't going to be 10 years when he did it. So anyway, I don't think most people were pissed about Eminem taking a knee. This guy, somebody did it, and wish more of us would do it. So, be that as it may, take that with you. Hope it resonates. We don't always get to choose our allies. Just be glad we got them. Let's make some more of them. All right, guys, tomorrow, phone lines open up. You can call up to the show. Tim Black Show will be here live as usual. And I look forward to hearing what you guys say. And we will do this all over again. I want to thank everybody once again for making sure this show is possible. This shit ain't done by thin air. This ain't just put together by hopes and dreams. It's because you guys help make it possible. So thank you for supporting this show. And you may not agree. We may not always agree. But I think we're going in the same direction. So let's keep going in that direction. All right. That's all I got. I'm Tim Black, Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. Tim Black and that on Instagram. Cut the check. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. And I'll see you on the next one, Johnson. Thank you, Wolfpack. I appreciate y'all. Context. All right. I got the best people, y'all. Wolfpack. people are owed reparations. Reparations now. All my Johnsons. Wolfpack. Big K.
Ayo, wait, hold up, pause, no debate, no applause. Tired of the wait, man, we need a revolution, but you can't to debate. We be down for the cause. I be laid on a sauce, keep us down for the cause. Fuck around, get a public execution. Better wise up, hold up, fuck it, pause. Pause like 10 black, overwhelmed, but I gotta get my wits jacked. We be preaching to the quiet like a hymn track, but we gotta make a dent, get the rich back. Laying in the street, we got brothers that overdosing, trying to help the poor with their handicap and emotion. Both parties suck, take a minute and let it soak in. They don't give a fuck, they be locking you up for smoking. Both parties suck. Johnson, what the serving up is a lace concoction. Spit it in a face. Johnson, what the fuck you do with a snake when you boxing? Wanna fall in line with the face is an option. I'ma stand for mine, I'ma ride with my conscience. If you want the right, I'd advise you with caution. When they get the chance, so you out like an auction. Fucked in, so control that position. Cunts on the boat and they roll their position. Top down, yeah, I'm sold on the mission. I ain't bringing coats, I'm searching for friction. Apologists faking these raps give me conniptions. They be out here serving their donuts like a religion. Calling out these blasphemous promises my addiction. They ain't got no soul, yeah, they sold it out for a patient. Wait, hold up, pause, no debate, no applause. Tired of the wait, man, we need a revolution, but you can't to debate. We be down for the cause. I be laid on a sauce, keep us down for the cause. Fuck around, get a public execution. Better wise up, hold up, fuck it, pause. Time. Fuck conservative, run on McDonald. Clean, but you look and you sound like you off at the bottle. White boy dress for the follow. You see through the grip, so you need to let off to the throttle. Try the right, we beside let us have us a top. Be a man, we can walk through the basics. You ain't getting shot, just talking about race. Motherfucker, you get shot for being racist. Yo, say you spitting facts, you clearly be in your feelings. Quoting Ben Shapiro, what else the fuck you conceal? See, we didn't free the slaves and you acting like we the same. Like we're signing effects, same thing, you fucking idiot. Right-wing frauds really made me belligerent. Educate America, overcoming the ignorance. Big homie black, show you bitches the difference. They outsource the jobs, blaming it on the immigrants. Bro for initiative, hold the line with the wolf pack. Giving me a shot, I blew through him like I'm a fullback. Riding from inside the center, where your soul at. Pins and track blast, cause homie be full of bullcrap. ACAB, yeah, I'm bending the law. Yeah, the system is broke. If you need this and ours, need divine intervention. Need a fix by the gauze, hold up, I'ma need to catch my breath. Pause. Wait, hold up, pause, no debate, no applause. Tired of the wait, man, we need a revolution, but you can't to debate. We be down for the cause. I be laid on a sauce, keep us down for the cause. Fuck around, get a public execution. Better wise up, hold up, fuck it, pause.